Hi there, thank you for joining me today. Today's reading is going to be what did the eye contact mean? And this is a recommendation from somebody, a subscriber, so thank you very much for that. If anybody has any ideas, I'm very welcome and open to them if you'd like to put them in the comments section. So let's get started. We've got pile 1, pile 2 and pile 3. So if you want to take your choice. Right, let's go pile 3 over there. Right, pile 1. What did the eye contact mean? So this is you and this is them. So first off, I have actually peeked these cards before I dealt them, just these two. I think that the situation that you were in, that this person is quite conservative in their approach to if they like somebody, and I think they were sort of doing the sneaky side looking possibly before you caught them. You've got the 4 of Pentacles here, which represents them, which is somebody who hides their feelings, who keeps things close to their chest, who's very practical and quite reserved. And you've also got the 7 of Swords, which sort of speaks for itself here, because you've got the snake that's almost sneakily just got into the nest and trying to take what it wants and disappear without being seen. So this makes me think that this person was either at this particular moment looking at you before you saw them, or they've been looking at you for a while, or it's been they've basically had a crush on you for a while, or something like that. It's something where they're trying not to get caught looking at you. You're coming across as the Page of Wands, which is sort of vibrant, young feel about it, with the 9 of Cups. So I have a feeling that you came across to them as being very at ease with yourself. The 9 of Cups, as you can see here, I'm trying to get these in the picture for you, is I've got my microphone here because somebody said it was too quiet, so I'm trying to shuffle it in front of the camera. The 9 of Cups is the pelican. It's got everything in its beak. So you've come across to them as being sort of the cat that's got the cream. You're very pleased with yourself. You look good. You feel good. And, you know, they can sense that. So the Page of Wands is somebody who's youthful, who walks with a purpose, who's confident, but has that sort of, I'm thinking, a sort of impish I always associate with like air signs, and the Page of Wands is a fire sign. So but I do get this feeling of being quite aware, but also almost cheeky with it. It's a person that pushes that little bit further than they're supposed to. It has that sort of devil-may-care attitude about them. So I think you've come across as very interesting, and but almost in a, I'm trying to think of the correct word, self-satisfied way, in that you're pleased, you know you're good looking, and they can see that, if you know what I mean. Right, so that's what I picked immediately. They're doing the sneaky peek, and they might have been doing this for quite a while, and they're trying not to get caught looking at you, and you're basically coming in all hubba and pleased with yourself and looking good. And that's it, really. That's it. So let's have a little bit more of a delve into the situation and see if this rings true at all for you. The Page of Wands makes me think, just going back to this card here, this Page of Wands makes me think that you possibly could have, because this Page of Wands picture is somebody who's in the dark. They're very aware of what's going on. They're flying towards the moon. So it's not like a normal bird. It's somebody who's aware of what's going on, but is quite calculated in a very sort of strong but honest way. I wonder whether in this situation you knew they were there already, or you liked them too, and then they caught your eye, or something like this. Is making me feel that you were quite, and this 9 of Cups here for you almost makes me feel that you were quite aware that they were there and you may like them, and then basically they showed that they liked you, although they're trying their hardest not to, or maybe they just recognise that they've liked you and they still don't want you to know it yet. I don't know. Let's keep going. Let's have a look at the situation somewhat more. That's like Jane Eyre. Okay, let's go. This is going to be really specific, so this actual line may not ring true, but let's go for it and just see if I can have a little look into what actually happened. Okay, I'm getting this is either somewhere or something. There's two things here. It could either be in a situation where you are working together, or you're in a situation where it's a practical everyday situation. It's something that might possibly repeat it. It could be something where you are both, there could be an exchange of money in some way. There could be either you're working or they're working, or they're doing something that really engrossed in, and you've caught their eye. There could be some travel in it. There could be some movement, like by a car or boat, or just some movement going along in a work situation. It's almost if you could be passing each other, or you're both, both of you are engrossed in what you're doing. I'm not actually getting a, like, you know, in my mind, when I started off this, I almost thought it would be like two people having a conversation, or a group of people, like in a pub. But I'm wondering whether it is with this. I'm thinking movement or travel or work or engrossed in something. But I am wondering whether either one of you, because there's a passion card here, whether one of you almost has a crush on the other before this happened. If it's you, I think you're very confident in the fact that you know this person is attracted to you already, or the fact that their look made you feel that. And if they are attracted to you already, if it's them, then they're trying not to show it. Let me see what else I get from this. It could possibly, I'm looking at these two cards to give me clues to the situation, and I think it's quite difficult to actually make it up from the meaning of the cards as you read in a tarot book. So I'm just looking at the cards. So what I'm picking up is this, it looks like an outdoor situation. Could be camping, could be by the sea, just car or movement or boat, or a work situation. There's food involved. There could be drink involved. There's like food out here. It could be nighttime. There's candles. I don't know. That's the bit I think that's difficult because it's very specific. But let's keep going and see what caught their eye exactly. I do think that you were very in control of yourself, and I think that you knew you were looking attractive at this time, or when you caught their eye looking at you, you were very pleased about it. Okay, let's go. What caught their eye about you? Okay. I think you attracted them by being very confident. I think you're somebody who looks as if they are in control of themselves, and somebody who is probably very aware of the impact that they have on other people. I think you have this sort of swagger about you, this sort of exuberance about you, and this sort of inner confidence and vitality that caught their eye. But I also think this, you've got an almost nonchalant quality about you too. As if you're not really bothered, you're not looking, you know, you look good, you're in this situation. And I think that's what's attracted them to you. It's a exciting, vibrant, sort of exotic combination where you have caught their eye because you're different, but you're almost different in a way that not only you're attractive, but you don't seem to care about it. You're not somebody who's preening yourself. You're somebody who doesn't really, you know, you could have actually been sat there doing something. You've got the Four of Cups here. This is a lady who's sat here. You know, she's doing nothing and she's looking like she's not bothered. But you've got that with the Queen of Wands. So these are quite different. You've got the Queen of Wands who's quite, gung-ho and has this energy that pulsates from her, and people can feel that. It's like excitement. There's like just an air of movement with this person, but then it's combined with this Four of Cups where the girl is looking as if she's not bothered. So you could actually have been outside waiting for something when this person has seen you. But with the Page of Wands and the Queen of Wands, you know, you have this quality that looks like you've got a spark in your eye. You've got this with the Magician as well. So what's caught their eye is the fact that see this person here's got their head down as well. Were you sat down? All these people are sat down. When this person saw you, were you sat down? If you're travelling in a car, you probably were. So this is a real combination. The Magician card is very magnetic. It's somebody who almost like uses electricity to draw people towards them. It's almost as if it's like a vibrational draw, and they can't do anything else but connect or look, or vice versa to both of you. Both of you would have felt it. But I do get a strong feeling here of being, that's what I'm seeing, sat down. I don't know whether that does make any sense at all. So I'm getting this picture now that you are somewhere, you're either in a car, you're either at work, but you're sat down, or, yeah, another seat here sat down. Not seat sat down. And this, you've caught this person's eye, and he or she has pretended they haven't seen you. They've almost tried to keep it themselves closed off. And you're looking good, but you're almost looking good in a way that you're very not self-contained, but altogether, I think is the word there. Okay, what were they thinking when they saw you? What were they thinking when they saw you? Oh my gosh. Oh my good heavens. Okay, what they were thinking when they saw you. You've got the Nine of Cups. This Nine of Cups is basically somebody that has found their wish come true. This sounds really corny. I'm going to have to tell you anyway. Somebody who's found their wish come true. It's almost as if everything they've ever looked for is basically in front of them. It's basically like an explosion, and the cups are emotions, so it's like an emotional fulfillment card. You've got the King of Cups here, which is a mature man or woman who is feeling emotions that are actually it's like a love card. It's more than a crush. It's like a feeling of love. Because it's mature, it's not the Page so much, which is basically just the initial stage, like flirting. It's almost, you can see his heart here. It's almost like a feeling of strong love. And then to top it off, you've got the Lovers card here as well. So this person, you have blown their socks off. I do know bits of why, if any of this is true. So you've got the Nine of Cups, so that's emotional fulfillment. Basically, you have looked like everything they fantasized about. You've got the King of Cups, and it's almost like a love feeling, like an emotional welling up, that they've almost, I think they've handled it quite well. They've handled their feelings very well by not showing them too much. And you've got the Lovers card here, so there's definitely a huge stirring there. And that's what they're thinking. That's their thoughts, and that's probably why they've pretended not to notice you, because I think that's quite overwhelming for them. Feelings. You have got fantastic cards. The feelings of the star. So the star, especially with the Nine of Cups, the star is Aquarius. It's like wish come true. It's like fulfillment, and the Nine of Cups almost means the same in a smaller sense. So their feelings almost replicate their thoughts. So you are almost like, it's hopeful. It's a movement forward. It's like fantasy in some way. You've really piqued their imagination, and you've got that with the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands is often referred to as like it's like communication. It's like when you see something that's exciting, and it's almost like Cupid's arrows, often seen flying through the air. So this person is really taken with you, and the world is almost as if everything is encompassed in that point. If they've been looking for somebody, then it's almost as if it's come full circle, the search, and they've just basically directed it at you. So these cards are really strong. So where would they like to take this? Right, this person has passion for you. But you have really roused their feelings and they're quite passionate. But I don't know if they're going to do anything about it, because you've got the Ten of Swords, which is basically, I don't think they can do something about it. And you've got the Three of Swords. So it's as if this person has seen you and you've basically, you've shocked them. You've taken the rug from under their feet. But for some reason, I don't think they can do anything about it. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know whether it's distance, other relationships, but there's some reason I don't think they're going to do anything about it, even though they feel like the King of Wands, and that's really forward movement, assertive person who doesn't beat around the bush. If they want something, they're going to get it in a mature way. They're not going to basically just bowl over people if you're in a relationship. But this person feels like that, but they're not going to do anything. The Ten of Swords is like the end of a situation. The Three of Swords is like the end of a situation. So I'm wondering whether the huge attraction for pile one, but I'm wondering whether for some reason, perhaps you were just passing, they can't do anything about it. Because there's almost like a sneaky feel about them looking at you. And I don't know if it's because they don't want to reveal their feelings or whether they were with somebody else. I don't know. Right, I'm going to sum you up here, pile number one. So this person is coming across to you as somebody, or is coming across anyway, as somebody who's quite reserved and doesn't want to show their feelings. They're trying to take a sneaky look and they've been caught out. You're coming across as the Page of Wands. So this is somebody who is... knows what they're doing, is quite calculated in a very good way, in a way that they are confident and they know how to direct themselves, and you know that this person's found you attractive and it's making you feel good, and this is the air that you're giving off, as if you're really pleased yourself. There's a confident air about you, not in a cocky way, but in a sort of, just the way it should be. The situation that you may have seen this person or vice versa, this one's harder to decipher. What I tried to pick out of this were the clues from the cards, and there's movement. So I talked about vehicles or traffic. There's work situation. There's food here. There's like a new beginning. So it could be like a course or something. But the thing that came out strongly was was it always strongly or very strong? Was that all the cards I pulled out for this was people sat down. And I remember touching on something that sort of had like a nonchalant air about you. So you're quite feisty and you've got that fire in your eyes. But I don't know if that moment that they saw you is as if you were just laid back and doing nothing, or just sat there waiting, or basically not looking interested, and you were caught off guard by them looking at you. So the next one was what they're thinking. Okay, what they're thinking, you've got emotional cards here. Their emotions have been piqued. You have got them thinking of sex. You've got them thinking of you've got the Lovers, then you've got the King of Cups. So it's almost like a sexual attraction, but it's also sex. But it's you've got the King of Cups here too. So there's almost like you've picked them in emotionally too. Not just a sexual attraction, but there's like when you're sort of, your heart's involved with it. You're like a wish come true, because you've got this Nine of Cups here, which basically to me just means you've got exactly what you're looking for. And then you've got the Star over for feelings. The Star to me is a stronger version of the Nine of Cups. It's what you're wishing for and you want to make it a reality. And it's a strong card that is very possible. You've got that with like Cupid's arrows. So it's fast, erotic communication. It's that feeling that you've been struck by somebody. And the attraction is very strong. So this person, there's no beating around the bush. They have definitely noticed you. And a feeling of completion. Now, the only thing that I can't... And see, this is really strong pile. But the end cards are not as positive as the rest of it. And I don't know why. So what they're going to do about it, you've got the King of Wands. So this person is not afraid to move forward. They're quite... I'm not going to say dominant. They're courageous. They're not afraid. If they like somebody, they will let you know. But you've got the Ten of Swords and the Three of Swords with that. So I don't know. This person feels it, but I don't think they're going to do anything about it. Three of Swords, Ten of Swords speaks to me as something that they're not going to make a movement towards you. And I don't know why. Okay, pile number 1. I hope that made some sense. Really, really fantastic cards. This person found you hugely attractive and they don't think they were trying not to show it. I wondered whether they averted their eyes as soon as you caught them looking, because you were looking good and you were feeling good, and they knew they could pick that up. Okay, I've shown you the pictures so that it helps. And if you could tell me, if you want to, what was the actual situation where you saw each other, and whether any of this that I talked about has rang true. That'd be really interesting to me to know whether, you know, what actually is seen in the cards as opposed to knowing the meaning of the cards. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hi, pile number 2. This is you. These cards make me laugh. When I picked them out, this was you and this was them. I'll show you what I was thinking when I first looked at them. Okay, as the title is basically what was the eye contact? Oh my lord, what did the eye contact mean? They're coming across as being really controlled and practical and down to earth, and I think this person's gaze was very penetrating. I think, unlike the last pile, I think they took you off your feet with their stare, with their gaze. They've come across as the King of Pentacles, and the most significant thing about this card, as all the other cards in the pack, is the direct stare. I would have thought that would have basically taken your breath away. And they've also come across as the Tower. So I think that they've been shocked by the attraction, and they've not been able to hide it. Well, they've not wanted to hide it because it's taken the rug from under their feet, and I guess it from you as well. You're coming across as Temperance. So I think you've actually, even though it might have affected you, you're coming across as these like fish, the koi, they're swimming in between the, not lilies, are they? What are they? Lotus. You come across really, you can see the yin yang here, they got us really balanced, really easy to self, just very smooth. You could have been walking, you could have basically been slipping in and out of a situation. You know, I'm getting this image of like walking between chairs or in a bar or something where you're moving and you're really sort of like a dancer, you know, you're sexy. You're moving well, and you've got the Seven of Pentacles here, which makes me think it could actually have been in work though, because the Seven of Pentacles is almost like a work card to me. So I don't know whether you have been in work. Seven of Pentacles, the reward. So you've been working for something, and you're at that moment doing it. That could be anything. It could be out shopping. You know, you could be in a situation where you've got some money to go. Actually, you probably wouldn't be out shopping at the moment. But the reward means lots of different things. It's as if at that moment you could have just been having a good time that you're looking forward to. You could have been buying something that you saved up for. You could have been getting an award or something and going up on stage. You know, I know all these scenarios are really difficult at the moment, but I'm just trying to think. It could possibly be just a work situation or involving finances in some way. I don't know. Or you've liked this person for a while and you've caught their eye, and then that's the reward. You've shocked this person. I mean, if you look at these cards here, they're all sort of fish, not looking at anything. The frog, not really looking at anything. You've got the Tower, the birds are just getting on with it. And then you've got the other card for your person. And look at the eyes on this. It comes up like this. So you have really, really taken this person's breath away. And you've got the reward card. I wonder whether you... I'll show you the card. I wonder whether you have liked them for a while, or just basically just enjoyed the fact that they have been looking at you, or you've caught them looking at you, because you're coming across as really balanced, really at ease with yourself. So if you do like them, you don't feel intimidated by them. You might do now. You didn't before. Okay, let's have another little look into the situation. As I said with pile 1, this is really difficult to, because it's very specific, to give you any clues on the situation that you're in. It's just me trying to read the cards, and what would really help me, if you let me know if any of this rings true, it would give me an idea of how much is actually the meaning of the cards that you get from books, or the actual picture on the cards from each pack. So if any of it does, please let me know. So the situation. Okay, I'm going to read this just from the card pictures, maybe both. Now, I will tell you what I'm thinking. The 8 of Wands here is like a card of communication, and it's the ones that are flying through the air, and it's fast. It's Mercury and Sagittarius, so that's very forthright. It's very obvious. There's no hiding. You know, you could have actually been talking to each other, or you were talking to somebody else, but the 8 of Wands is also sometimes referred to as Cupid's arrow, because of the wands flying through the air look like arrows. And Sagittarius is so well renowned for being over sex, really. And then you've got the 8 of Cups. So I wonder whether this person has, or you have had your back turned when this person has seen you, and then you've turned round. And you've got the Hierophant here. Now, the Hierophant could be anything. It could be in a building. It could be something quite... So this situation could have happened in a particular building, an establishment. You have like establishments that I'm thinking like hospitals or bigger buildings rather than just houses. I'm thinking like schools, you know, that sort of shops, the bigger sort of building. And I wonder whether the person you're asking, I mean, the stairs here as well, does that ring true in any way? Whether the person that's asking was basically laughing and joking, and then you caught their eye? These also, I don't know. These 3 cards that I'm doing now are the cards that I would, you know, if you could, if anything rings true, whether there's communication going on, whether you were talking to people and then you just felt this person looking at you, whether you had your back turned to the person, or you're walking away from a situation. You could be walking away from a shop, you could be outside walking away from something, and then the eye contacts come, or whether you are in a building or some situation. I'm not getting work from these. The last plan I did, and the person was laughing and then stopped when they saw you. I don't know. That's the bit that I'm not sure about, but let me know if any of that rings true. Right, okay. What caught their eye? What did it mean? What caught their eye? Okay. I think what caught their eye was that you had some sort of, that you were standing there almost in a defense. You could possibly have standing there almost in a defensive manner, as in you were standing very straight. You just looked fit. You just looked in control of your body. I'm trying to think about these cards here. I wonder whether you're quite athletic, or whether you were moving in such a way that showed that you had control over your body. But I'm also wondering whether you could possibly have been with somebody else, because this has come up and it's not in the feelings pile. There's a Lovers here, so you could have been with another man, or you could have been with your family. So what's caught that eye? It could be, if it's what the question is, what's caught their eye, it could be basic, just animal attraction, and I think it's your body that's caught their eye. You could have been with children, or you could have been with your family. Sorry, the camera stopped automatically. So what caught their eye? You've got the Lovers card here, so it could have been just basically strong sexual attraction. You've also got the Ten of Pentacles here, which is somebody who looks as if they are very content in themselves, as if they've got everything. You know, you could be older, I don't know, or you could have been with your family. But there's that feeling of completion, that feeling of having everything and almost having a rich appearance, which sounds ridiculous, but you could just dress well or just look like you're really at ease with yourself. I do think you come across as very at ease with yourself because you've got the Temperance card here as well. But there's a strong feeling, and I'm wondering where I'm picking this up from. I've got this from here, from the actual card, the Nine of Wands. And this is somebody who's quite defensive, but because you've got the Temperance card here, and I was thinking how graceful this person is. The fish are swimming in between, we talked about earlier, but this person is almost graceful in a strong way. So I think it's your figure and your poise has caught their attention, and the fact you look at ease yourself, but this is all mingled in with sexual attraction. Right, what were they thinking when they saw you? What were they thinking? Or when they saw you, or when you basically caught each other's eyes? Okay, they were thinking when they saw you that you look as if you don't need anybody, but you have almost taken the rug from underneath their feet in a way. That you've got the Death and Rebirth card here. So it's almost as if look at these two cards together. This person, how you've shocked them in some way. They're attracted to you and they weren't expecting to be attracted to anybody. The Death and Rebirth is like an ending to a situation and a new beginning. So I don't know whether this person is with somebody already, but when they've seen you, that it's almost, and this person, this King of Cups here, is like an emotional outburst from like your heart chakra. So it's like a feeling from your chest. An emotional feeling as well. So they're feeling emotional. They're feeling as if it's a shock, it's a change, and they've recognised the fact that you do actually seem quite cool and laid back. So they've got all the big feels here. There's a shock there, and there's this feeling of love, but they've also recognised that you seem quite at ease with yourself. So that's what they were thinking when they saw you. A definite emotional pull. And a really strong recognition of you don't look like you need anybody. I don't know why you're giving that across. Let's do feeling. What were they feeling? I think this person, that you've got the Tower, you've got the King of Pentacles, you've got the King of Cups for this person. I think this person's very well controlled. You've shocked them, but I don't think they're going to let you know this, because you've got the Death card here. It's almost as if they could draw a line in everything that they felt or thought about anybody else before catching your eye. You have a real, nonchalant was the word I used the last pile, that this air about you that you haven't noticed, you don't care, basically they're feeling it, but they don't know whether you do. Okay, what they're feeling, I don't know whether your person is with somebody already, because this Death card makes me think it's a bit of a shock to them to be actually, for you to have caught their eye in the first place, because they've got the Three of Cups, which could be that they're in a relationship. You've got the Page of Pentacles, which could possibly be children, and you've got the Five of Cups, which is almost a keep your distance card. I think that this person has had thoughts and feelings that have jarred. The shock at seeing you, the attraction, the sexual and emotional pull towards you, and then it's almost automatically as if they've thought, I don't know if they know you or not, that not to go there, because you could be taken or they could be taken, they might know you. If that's not true, The other way they can interpret these cards, if they're feeling towards you as if they, because this is almost also a party card, so it's almost as if you want to go out and party, and there's a practical, they want to offer you something practical, like a feeling of asking you out to something that's going to be fun. But the Five of Cups I can't interpret with that one, because that's almost a card of you possibly, it's the cups that there are some upright and some turned over. If they feel as if there would be a fear in asking you to do this, in case you said no. The attraction would still be there, but then they would feel let down. That's probably the only way that I can put those three together. So if you're not already taken, and that's probably fear has overtaken their feelings, then it possibly could be that they would like to make a practical move towards you, ask you to do something which would be like a social event, but they would be afraid of being turned down. So either one of those could fit there. So where would they like to take this? Let's have a look. Where would they like to take this? I don't think that this person is going to do any. I do think this person would, if you meet again ever, or if you know each other already, this person wants to do something practical. So I'm wondering whether the latter explanation is correct here. Whether they would like to take you out and do something that is fun, like go out for a drink or that type of thing. Because the Page of Pentacles is like a small offer, it's like an offer of financial or study, but it could also be like going out for a drink or just something practical. And you've got the Ace of Pentacles here is what they actually want to happen. So I do think that could ring true, but I think this card is movement. But my first thoughts were, and I always go with those because they tend to be right, is almost a card of healing. That this person's not quite ready to make a move yet towards you. And this man here, he's sat down, he's quite happy at home. He looks very content, he's very happy with himself. And it's strange you've got the King of Pentacles twice. It would be interesting to know, because these two here, whether your man or woman is earthy, whether they're practical, whether they are, focused in everyday life, down to earth, reliable type of person. Whether their job might reflect that. But Six of Swords doesn't really speak to me of healing, but that's my first thought, that this person is not going to do anything for a while until they've got their head around it. And if it is the King of Pentacles type of person, man or woman, they're not going to move fast anyway, but they do want to move forward. They would like to know who you are or whatever, or make a move towards you. I'm going to send Power 2 up. Your person's coming across as somebody who does not like shocks, somebody who likes everything to be very grounded, and you have shocked them. They've got the Tower card here. Basically, you've thrown everything up in the air and this person can't take their eyes off you. You're coming across as very sweet and gentle and elegant and graceful, and I get the feeling that you are really pleased that you've caught this person's eye, and I'm wondering whether it's because you've seen them before and been attracted to them too. Right, and then we put the cards out for where this is the hardest one, and I wouldn't take this one too much to heart, but the situation that I'm trying to look into is where they saw you or where this contact was, and I've got a general feeling it could be somewhere where you're communicating. It possibly could be outdoors. You could have had your back turned and this person has seen you, or it could be in some sort of building or establishment where this person, you've got a person, he's there with his friends or with somebody, he's laughing and he's joking, and then you've taken the smile off his face because you've caught his eye in a nice way. What were they thinking? Their thinking comes across as in, this is what caught their eye. Sexual attraction, a feeling of completion, and you look as if you are everything that they could possibly have imagined. It's almost like sexual and family. Do you know that type of man or lady where they found you sexually attractive and you look as if you could settle down. I know it sounds stupid, but somebody they could settle down with. So there's that attraction that's not too distant from them. It's something that they feel they could settle down. Oh, I know, exactly, that's it. But I do think there's a strong physical attraction to your figure. And I think you hold yourself very well. And I'd be really interested to know whether you're quite sporty or whether you hold yourself in a sort of, composed, where you've got good posture. And the way that you've moved as a tractor, if you were moving, I wonder whether that is what's caught the eye. What were they thinking? This comes up a lot with this pile. It's as if you seem to be really sort of at ease, content with yourself, as if you almost haven't noticed them, but you've shocked them. It's been a bit of a, because you've got the Tower card, you've got the Death card, and those basically wipe the slate clean and they start again. So you've taken the breath away from them. But I do think that it's an emotional feel as well as a sexual pull, because you've got the King of Cups here with this, the heart opening with an emotional sort of pull. I'm wondering whether you're one of these people who are quite Taurusy, Cancer, and I don't know what I mean by that, but it's somebody who's quite feminine in the way that they dress. So you're basically having that sexual pull, but also that homely look about you. Perhaps the materials you wear are soft. Perhaps you're sort of got hips and bits that make you look feminine. I'm not saying that girls that haven't got hips and bits aren't. I'm just saying, you're sort of that sort of figure that is rounded. Their feelings are either they're in a relationship and they can't move with it, and that's basically bugging them, or if they're not in a relationship, their attraction to you is going to be something that they're going to act out quite in a very sort of earthy way, that they're going to offer you to go out and do something that is like go for a drink, go for something fun, go for something, more perhaps in a group, but they're afraid of being turned down. Okay, where would they like to take this? I don't think they're going to do anything for a while. And if they do, because this man or woman is coming up as King of Pentacles twice, they're not going to do something bizarre like charge in and declare the undying love. I saw you, you caught my eye, blah, blah, blah. They will say, basically, let's work together, let's do something together. But I don't think it's going to be immediate. If it does happen, it won't be straight away. Right, pile number 2. I hope I haven't rambled too much. I hope that makes sense. And as I said before, it's these situation ones that you basically, because it's so specific, it's really difficult to say. If there's any truth, definitely in a situation one, if it rings true at all, can you let me know? Because I'd like to know the difference between reading the card pictures and the difference between actually knowing the meaning. And I know it's both, but it's still interesting to me. Thank you very much for watching. Okay, pile number... Hi, pile number 3. Let me just give the cards a shuffle, and then we'll get you out and see these cards represent you and them. Just give them a good shuffle first. Actually, I'll deal them and shuffle while I'm talking. This is you. This is them. Right. My first thoughts when I pulled out these, I looked at them before I actually started, to be honest. And I have the general feeling that because you've got, I can't shuffle and ramble, because you've got the Justice card here, which has got it's like a Venus card, it's like beauty, it's like gentleness, it's fairness. But you've got it with the World as well. There's a lot of animals here. I'm wondering whether when they saw you, you were in a group. You could have been out with a lot of people or movement, or I don't know. I generally got a huge feeling from this that you were not walking on your own, or you weren't somewhere, that you were with a group of people and you got the Ace of Wands for them. I'm going to say you caught this person's eye, but I think you caught more than the eye. 10 of Pentacles, which represents them, is somebody possibly that could be established. It's kind of like a family card. It's like somebody who feels quite complete in themselves. Right, let's have a look at the situation. And these cards will come more, hopefully speak more to me. But I do get the strong feeling that you are with either a gaggle of girls or a group of men or mixed company, and there's movement going on here. Walking. It's a strong feel of groups and movements when this person saw you. They're coming across as they could have been they're quite grounded. What does that say there? And the oyster card makes me wonder whether they've tried to keep it a bit of a secret. But I think there's sexual attraction there. The Ace of Wands is probably one of the most sexual cards in the pack. You've caught more than the eye. Let's have a look at the situation. As I've said in the last two piles, this is the hardest one to read because it's very specific. But I'm going to have a go. Let me know if any of this makes sense in terms of reading what the cards mean and the pictures on the cards. So I'll show you what I can make of this. The situation. Yeah, I think, without doubt, I would eat my hat. I haven't got a hat. If there weren't a lot of people involved in this situation, this person has seen you. Because you've got the Five of Wands, people everywhere. You have got the Justice card, loads of doves together. And you have got the World card with a fish here, swimming around a group. So I do think you're in a group situation. When this person has seen, oh my gosh, okay. You haven't, this is really specific. I know it's not going to make sense to you, but I'm wondering whether one of you has tripped. This is really specific, so just ignore it. But I'm wondering whether one of you's tripped or fallen, because you've got Five of Wands, which to me tells of lots of people. But you've also look as if they're falling over. This might not make no sense whatsoever. But I'm interested to know what works. And then you've got this woman here, the Queen of Swords, and she is just sat watching. So if I was to put this together, I would say that somebody, you, has been moving around in a group of people. This is my best guess from what I can read from the cards. And this person is probably an established person. They're probably just going around their own business and they've seen you and it's been a sexual pull. It's something sexual that's caught their eye because you've got the Ace of Wands. And the actual situation, I again think, is a group of people. You've got the Nine of Cups here, and to try, and I've said, somebody's tripped over. I can't imagine that anybody watching this, that's actually true, but I'm just saying what I can see. You could have been out drinking. You've got lots of cups. You've got people sat down too. So you could have been out drinking. Not very easy at COVID, is it? Nine of Cups. It's like celebrations, being outside, having fun, feeling really at ease yourself. And then you've got the Queen of Swords here, where it's somebody who just sit there watching, and they've got the sea. I don't know. I'm going to stop that there because that is really hard to do. So I'll come back to that, see if more comes out. What caught their eye? What caught their eye? I think, and I feel this quite strongly, I think you remind them of somebody. I think their attraction, the things that's caught their eye, is that you remind them of somebody that they may have known when they were young. And I can't hardly explain that. You've got the Judgment card here, which is karma, so it's things like lifetimes away and, like cycles and things that come back. You've got the Six of Swords, that's almost like healing. And you've got the Ten of Cups here, which talks of family. Or I wonder whether you remind them of somebody they've had a long-term relationship with, or somebody in their family. But there's a sexual attraction there, so I'm not sure. So that's what's caught the eye, is that feeling of recognition that they know you. Justice in the world. It talks talks of cycles again. You've got judgment here, you've got the world, and to me that just talks of cycles. You know, it even could be some sort of deja vu feeling that you know this person, almost as if, you know, you could take this to different levels, couldn't you? Almost as if it's like a past life feeling. It's like that recognition, which I think we've all had, of I know that person. That's what's caught your eye, and I think people do that anyway without knowing it. So what were they thinking when they saw you? Okay, this person, I'm thinking here, is that they are quite established, they are quite controlled, they have quite a sexual appetite, and I think this person is almost thinking straight away in some strategic way of how they can get close to you. It's almost like an immediate thought. They've recognised you, and they've not done the giddy teenager, oh, she's, you know, really attractive, I can't talk to her. They basically started thinking straight away, I like you and I want to get to know you. That's what they've thought, and I don't even think they've basically, there's a sexual attraction there, and then straight away it's turned into, I want to know him or her better, and how am I going to do it? Because this person, I think, has the confidence, and I wonder if they're older, because it's like confidence. I just about to say experience. You're coming across as somebody quite free-flowing in a group, chatting, da-da-da-da, and boom, this person sort of spotted you. What are they feeling? Oops. Okay, this person comes across, there's almost like a slight tinge of arrogance here, because they feel the sun. You have basically made them feel almost like a kid, as in like a, you know, that feeling when something wells up in your chest and it's really exciting. That's what they felt like when they've seen you. But there's like the King of Pentacles here again, which goes quite well with your Ten of Pentacles, which represents them here. And there's that cool control, and they also coming up as the Emperor. So I think this person is very much trying to be in control of himself or herself, because it could be male or female. And they are very afraid of making a move towards you, and you basically, or even in this situation here, is you catching their eye back but giving them the cold shoulder, because you've almost brought out, you've got the Sun here for their feelings, and they're represented by the Ace of Wands. Now the Sun is basically open-hearted, it's joyous, it's a child who tells people that they love them without thinking of the repercussions, that somebody might turn around and say, I don't really fancy you, and there's like a sexual feel about this. So you have ignited this in them, this sort of sexual, open, childlike feel, but I don't think this person's going to go with it. They're going to try and keep it controlled. King of Pentacles, Emperor, it's going to be a strategic plan. If this person is going to come towards you in this initial meeting, straight away in their mind turn to the sexual attraction, and the physical attraction has turned straight towards how am I going to get close to this person, rather than just enjoy the moment. Quite controlled. Okay, I think this person is going to make a, somehow, I don't know what's happened or where this person's spotted you, but I wonder whether they are trying to find out about you, or they basically, I'm getting the feeling that they want to take a risk on you, and they're seeing as a risk because they're quite controlled. And I wonder whether this risk could just be something small. It will be some sort of offer of, you know, like working together or going out for a drink. It's something small, but in this person's mind who's quite controlled, I think it's going to be big to them. Right, I'm going to sum this up. So your person that's made eye contact with you, I think is quite controlled, probably quite, I'm going to say mature, but I mean mature as in they're established in the world probably, or very grounded in the world. But I don't think emotionally mature, because they need to have a plan. There's no free flowing. There's almost like a control feel about them. You're coming across as somebody who's very sociable, somebody who moves very well, who is very sort of sexual and sensual, and has that sort of feel like pile number 2 as a graceful feel about them and the way that they move and their body. It's like a dancer. And the situation that you may have seen each other in, this is the dodgy bit, which I'm never sure about, could have either a lot of people around them, and either you were, I know this goes against the fact of the movement, either you had just sat down or were sat down watching, or they were just sat watching and one of you was moving. I do feel quite strongly with people around you in a group situation. What caught that eye was a karmic feel that they recognised you. I'm going to leave that at that, because I definitely believe that. I don't even know whether it's the fact that they recognise you from like you look like a past boyfriend or girlfriend. I think it's almost like a deja vu karmic feel about it. What they're thinking, and their thoughts have gone straight to, I'm going to compare this with the last pack, and the last pack was almost like an intense stare, as in they could see right through you, and they were quite happy that they weren't going to turn away their gaze. This person here has thought, their thoughts have gone straight to practical control feelings, as in, I want that person, I find them attractive, how can I get close to them? Their feelings are almost totally different from this feel I get about their personality. They're childlike. They want to play with you. They want to flirt and they want to have fun in a big way. But this person is too controlled, I think, or too reserved to actually do that. I'm thinking controlled, actually. I was being kind of reserved. And what they're going to do, I think they're going to take that risk. I think they're going to try and come towards you. And it's almost as if they recognise you, and it's time to make a move, and they're going to almost get themselves out of their comfort zone and make some small offer towards you. Right, okay, pile number 3. I don't know whether that makes sense or rings true at all, but I've just read the cards as I see them. As I said, this situation bit to me doesn't feel right because it's so specific, but I'm just reading it as it is, and I would be really interested if any of that rings true. The rest of it seems to me to generally feel like it flows in a way that I can feel the energy in it, if you know what I mean. I'm talking crap. Anyway, pile number 3. Let me know if any of that rings true, and thank you very much for watching. Bye.